Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to Wasteland Talks, my weekly talk show where I talk about whatever the hell I want. And we're doing a top 10 list since we're wrapping up 2025. And I had seen some of my fellow film lovers and some of the other websites that I write for were kind of, processing through the decade so far with some of their favorite films. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll do my top 10 through the 2020 so far. And joining me is my friend and fellow cinephile. It's Rod. Thank you so much for coming on.
Shane, always a pleasure. It's funny because Ben and I did do an episode for our podcast just a month or two ago, and the film is funny because my list is not the same as it was. So yeah.
There you go. I had not really thought about putting a list together yet.
Mm,
So this was all fresh for me processing through. Because I'll admit, a couple of films, at least a handful of films, have gotten into like my top 100, top 150 of my favorite movies from the decade so far. And
nice.
obviously, those were some of the easy ones to kind of just slot in there. But there were some other ones where I'm like, well, I have to think about this because there have been a lot of films that I've really loved. There have been a couple of years during this period that kind of lacked
Hmm.
comparatively, especially because like COVID started this lovely decade. 2020, I'll admit I do actually have one film from 2020 on my list, but
I do too.
2020 was not exactly the strongest year for movies, but we're going to get there as we go through. How we're going to do this is Rod's going to start with some honorable mentions, and then he's going to go 10 to 1 with his list. We'll talk about the films, and then we'll shift over to me and do the same. But Rod, what are some honorable mentions you have?
All right, so I'm kind of breaking my honorable mentions up, Shane. So here are the because I'm a big Marvel guy. Here are the Marvel films that did not make my top 10.
Okay.
Guardians 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, Eternals. Really want to put Eternals on my list, Shane, but didn't. And then, yeah, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was very, very close to making the list. Other comic book movies too, Shane. The Batman was very close to not making the
Yep.
list. And then Fall Guy, Shane thought was gonna make my list. It did not.
Yep.
Tenet, John Wick Chapter 4, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning,
Hmm.
We Live in Time, Glass Onion. Did I say Quiet Place Part 2? I think I did. Uh, Oppenheimer, and last but not least, Shane, Materialist did not make the list. Very, very close though.
Very close. I'll admit, uh, I don't have any Marvel films on my list, but a very close honorable mention is Guardians 3 because I absolutely love that one. Um, I do have a comic book film on my list, but I'm not going to give that away quite yet. But we'll
I feel
get
like I
there.
know. I feel like I know what it is. I feel like I do know what it is.
I feel like we probably do know what it is, but we'll get
Okay.
there eventually. But Rod, what's your number 10?
Number 10. The one film in 2020 I have on my list is the film I could not stop talking about ever since I saw it, Palm Springs.
There you go.
Yep, Palm Springs. So you just want me to go through my 10 through 1 and then, or how are we doing this?
Well, we'll talk a little bit about the films as we go along. So,
Okay.
Palm Springs is such a fun time. And that was like, I feel like the movie from 2020 that has lived on the most out
Yes.
of everything. And deservedly so, because like Andy Samberg's incredible. Kristen Milotti is incredible. I
Love her.
think I'm so glad she's getting her flowers for the Penguin now
Mhm.
because she was so good in Palm Springs as well.
So she has been a favorite of mine since How I Met Your Mother, and I've been following her career closely. And I always forget Shane too. She plays the first wife in The Wolf of Wall
She
Street as
does.
well, and she's really good in that. But here, I feel like this was kind of the start, the springboard of
Yeah.
where she is now. Her chemistry with Andy Samberg is great. I feel like Shane, this. I know 2020 was a weird year. I kind of would have liked to see this got nominated for like Best Picture or something. I feel like it would have.
It should have.
I thought so.
If they were in touch with things more, the Academy, I feel like it would have, but they're not, so it didn't. So there you go.
The time loop stuff is great. It's a great
Yep.
sci-fi. It's a great romance. J.K. Simmons, by the way. He
Such a
has that
great
one
supporting.
scene with Andy Samberg. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it so much. But yeah, this is a great movie.
Yep. Uh Definitely one of the highlights from 2020 for sure. I do have one 2020 film on my list, and I don't know if you're gonna guess what it is, but it's actually very high on my list too, but we'll get there. What's your number
Okay.
nine?
Number nine, Shane. We didn't do a spoiler review for this movie. No, we didn't. But you and I have talked about it a whole bunch. Daddy-O at number nine.
Daddy-O so good.
So freaking good. And it's funny, Shane, because when I saw materials, I was like, okay, now this has surpassed Daddy-O. No, no, Daddy-O is still my second favorite Dakota Johnson. I love this movie, Shane. I do.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's very much like Locke, that movie with Tom Hardy, set in
Yes.
one setting for 99% of the movie.
Mhm.
And I found myself engrossed in it the entire time. I did get a chance to see it in theaters. It was in theaters for one weekend only, in a bunch of
Yeah.
theaters here in Georgia. So I was glad I got a chance to see it. But this is, I love Dakota Johnson. She's fantastic in this. I really hope people, kind of get over that 50 Shades thing and see things like this. Like, oh, she's a really great actress. This is the best I see from Sean Penn in years. And I know I gotta see one battle after another
Yeah.
still, but Shane, he is ridiculously good in this. I
Mm.
love their back and forth, their chemistry. It's a well-made movie. I was curious because the film was like over an hour and a half, and I know New York is big. But I was like, how are you gonna make me believe that this taxi ride?
Traffic.
Yes, they sit
Construction.
they sit in traffic for what was it like almost half an hour? That traffic stop
It's just
was.
like I'm like, I know this feeling.
Hmm.
Uh, so it makes a lot of sense logically how it takes that time. And I remember seeing this for a press screening and just being blown away by this. And Rod will love me here to will love to hear me say this. This was indeed the film that made me want to join the Dakota Johnson fan club. So,
Figures,
like, this was
figures,
the
Shane.
performance that really like solidified that for me to
Mhm.
the point where it's like he was probably the favorite thing I heard out of Halloween yesterday as we were recording this. She is ridiculously charming
Yes,
and like off the screen. And then her performance in this is incredible. Sean Penn's incredible. He had a stretch there where like he wasn't really doing much. He got caught up in, hanging out with dictators and stuff like that
it was
and
rough.
weird stuff like that. And then I remember him popping up in Licorice Pizza in a
Hmm.
relatively small role because like that film was very episodic and he had like his little episode in it. But this was like, okay, Sean Penn's back, and then now he's in one battle after another. So yeah, this is one of those enclosed films that's really impressive, and the performances are really impressive for sure.
It's one of the more honest films, Shane, of the decade. I feel like. I mean, the conversations are very raw. It's painful. It's a bit
It's
messy.
uncomfortable because Sean
Yes,
Penn's character is that kind of uncomfortable middle-aged man who's not going to just let things lie. Um,
but
I'm
where
sure
she
many of
is,
us are related to
yeah.
some of them. Um, I am,
I
but
was saying, but where her character is in her life, she needed
yeah,
someone like him to kind of get that stuff out, and he knew that too. So
I saw people criticizing that very point that how uncomfortable and toxic this man was, and it's like there's people like this, and like sometimes it does take somebody like really pushing your buttons to process things. I'm like, I appreciated the dynamic for what it is, and it's not perfect, it's not clean, but it's a really intriguing exploration of two human beings being stuck in this situation. So really impressive film for sure.
yep.
Rod, what's your number eight?
My number eight, Shane. This is where I have the first comic book film on my list. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
There you go.
I love this movie. This is, and it's weird because I feel like when we all heard about Into the Spider-Verse, like, why is Sony doing this? Here we go with Sony again, making bad decisions. And that movie turned out great.
Yeah.
And so the anticipation for Across the Spider-Verse, even with delays and stuff, anticipation was very, very high. Shane, this film did not disappoint whatsoever,
No.
and visually, it's still one of the most beautifully looking animated films in just films, period. This is a
Yes.
gorgeous film to look at.
Gorgeous film.
But, it's funny too because, we get that prologue with Gwen in the beginning, which was great. I love the prologue. We don't get a whole lot of Spider-Man stuff for almost an hour, right? It's a
Mm,
lot of just Miles dealing with
yeah.
school and his relationship with his family. And I think that's what make these Spider-Man movies or these Spider-Verse movies so great is it goes beyond, pun not intended here,
Ah,
with the Spider-Man lore. It's real about Miles and his relation. It's a coming of age kind of
yeah.
trilogy about him just kind of finding his place in this world, and the Spider-Man stuff is just added on top is just icing on the cake. I mean, it's like dessert, Shane. It's like that extra dessert you
Yeah.
didn't need. But multiverse films can get messy,
Yes.
MCU. But here, I feel like Lord and Miller have found the right formula to make the multiverse work in a way in which I don't think any of us were quite expecting it to be.
Mm.
Um, Especially with how they kind of handle the rules of the multiverse. Whereas the MCU, I feel like they really haven't got their grip on the multiverse at all, Shane.
Well, because they haven't found their focus story in it. This is a focus story. This is about Miles. They don't sacrifice Miles and Gwen's stories for the sake of the multiverse
Mhm.
because they have to ground it. And Across the Spider-Verse grounds it. That scene with Gwen and her dad's just like, oh my God.
Which scene, Shane? There's multiple scenes where you can be like, oh, that scene hurts. Oh, that scene
Well,
hurts.
like the scene that really is the climax of the movie and
Mhm.
what closes the loop for Gwen's character in this film that then sets the stage for Beyond to finish Miles' arc. You know, in 2035 when we finally get this movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Beyond the Spider-Verse. But yeah, Across the Spider, I remember the first reaction, Shane, coming out, and everyone was saying this is the Empire Strikes Back for a new age. And I'm like, oh,
Spider-Man.
yeah. I was like, okay, let's calm down. And after watching it, that opening night, I was like, no, yeah, this is pretty close. That
Yeah.
was really freaking good. Um, and Spot ended up being a much more menacing villain than I even thought because they even made that joke like villain of the week. Oh no, he's
Yeah.
much more than villain of the week.
Well, I think him exploring his own powers and realizing how much control he has is absolutely terrifying. And I've
Yes.
never been as afraid of Jason Schwartzman in my whole entire life
Nope.
as I am watching Across the Spider-Verse. But yeah,
And
it's
I'm sorry, Shane.
okay.
I was just gonna say that entire second and third act with all Spider-Man was great. I think my favorite stuff though was that twist with Miles and figure out he wasn't actually supposed to be Spider-Man, and just his reaction to his
Yeah.
friends holding that back from him. Something really that kind of hurt me a little bit because we spent all that time with them growing close as as close friends, and then seeing that revelation. And by the way, Oscar Isaac is great
Mm,
as I almost said Miles Morales again. Why am I drawing a blank on Oscar Isaac? Miguel.
yeah.
He has a bit of an asshole moment in this when he's like whispering to Miles like, "You weren't supposed to be here. You never were." And I was like, "Dude, lay off. The kid's like 18. Can you like
Like, dude, chill.
for real?" But he's even more kind of like you can't really call him a villain.
Well, he's antagonistic, and
He
that's
is.
what he is. And to Miles' piece in the story at this point, he is antagonistic. And you know how the whole anchor being thing got like just dropped in Deadpool and Wolverine without
Mhm.
a whole lot of any setup and anything else, and we're just like, there you
Yeah.
go. Um, they add weight to their little multiverse element of like these what you call them, the these like touchstones
Hmm.
of the Spider-Man experience and stuff like that. That had weight to it.
Yes.
And that's what this film works so well. And people debate for forever when this movie should have ended, how this movie should have ended, which is probably the biggest complaint people have with it. But this is something special.
I do feel like the last 15 minutes kind of go on a little too long. Like I think there could be some wrap up, but I when I rewatch it, it doesn't bother me all that much. But I kind of agree with people being like, we're kind of stretching this a little much here.
My biggest complaint is where it specifically ended. Like obviously I think everybody has their own opinions. Like I think it would have had an incredible just like exclamation point with him realizing he's not where he thought he was.
That's where it should have ended. Yes, yeah.
But yeah. What about your number seven?
Shane, we're going back to 2021. When I explain this, you're gonna realize what film this is. But I got to watch this film at Sundance virtually, and this is the director's follow-up to his 2020 film Shithouse, and that
Uh
is Cha Cha
yep.
Real Smooth at number seven. You want to talk about a nuanced performance from Dakota Johnson? This is right up there with
Yeah.
this one of the most raw emotional performances, Shane. She is so freaking good here. And I feel like Cooper Raiff has found his lane in terms of writing these excellent slice of life,
Mm.
warm kind of films, Shane. Because Shithouse, people need to go watch Shithouse. That film's great.
Yes. Yep.
And to
Absolutely.
go from that to this, and then having Apple invest in it, right? Buy the rights to the film. I'm like, good for you. Now he's got a series out on Mubi right now, which is actually really good too, called
Yeah, I've been watching that too.
what's it? Oh my
Alan
God.
Harper.
Yes, Helen Harper. Thank you. Which is really good. I have to watch episode 3. I haven't watched it yet. But back to Cha Cha Real Smooth. This is great. I loved it. I do hope though, Shane, in the future, we can kind of get away from Cooper Raiff continuing to play like the nonchalant a-hole kind of a character who's finding his way in life.
Kind of stunted Arrested Development
Yes.
bit of a character. Because
Yeah.
yes, he's 3 for 3 now. I feel
Yes.
like he's like it's like okay, yes, we get it. You got this character.
Yes.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how he expands upon that. But no, Cha Cha Real Smooth was fantastic. And just Dakota Johnson was incredible in this. Cooper Raiff, obviously. I hadn't watched this in a while, but I did love this film a lot when it came out. Because from what I recall, there's some really good supporting turns. Yeah, love Leslie Mann.
She's great.
I love Brad Garrett in literally
He's
anything.
he's so good. Brad Garrett, Vanessa Burkhart also. I think this is her
Mm,
feature film debut. And she was
yes.
great. And actually, now her and Dakota Johnson are getting ready to do a movie together. Dakota
Yes.
Johnson's doing her directorial debut with Vanessa Burkhart writing the film and starring in it, which is I love
That's really
hearing
cool.
that. Yeah, I mean the cast is phenomenal here, Shane. Again,
Yep.
this is one of those indie films I don't want people to miss. Like, it's a because the coming of age film, genre, Shane, I love, and I feel like Cooper Raiff has really found a home here for it.
Mm,
And what I love about this film too, Shane, is it doesn't shy away from having those uncomfortable conversations.
mhm.
Like my favorite scene is that scene where he goes to Dakota Johnson's house, basically trying to win her. Like, leave your
Yeah.
husband and come be with me. She's like, dude, we no, you're 22. This is not gonna happen. And just the messiness of love, like you can tell she does love the person she ends up being with,
Yeah.
because obviously there's things that don't work, but because throughout the film we're kind of meant to hate this guy. But then he has that conversation with Cooper Rave too of like, hey, thanks for taking care of my family while I've been gone. Like, so he even knows, like, dude,
Mhm.
I get it. I've been there. And I think he even knew like what Dakota Johnson did to him, because Dakota Johnson wasn't very innocent in all this either. Which is the beauty of this film. There's a lot of messy characters in this film just trying to figure out their way in life.
Well, and I think Dakota Johnson has such a specific way about playing characters like that because to be frank, she plays a lot of those types of characters in a lot of these
Hmm.
films that have really been shining a light on just how talented she really is. But people, get your Apple subscriptions. Like, there's
Yeah.
incredible shows there. There's
Oh
some
my
great
goodness.
movies like this. So there
Yeah.
you go. Get it before January so you can catch up and watch Shrinking.
Oh my.
There you go.
Can we just do like an entire episode on shrinking Shane? God.
Well, I feel like we're probably going to do a we're going to talk about Shrinking season 3 when that's over.
Oh
Um,
my God.
but Rod, what's your number 6?
All right, so my next two films are MCU films, so buckle up, folks. My number six is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Nice.
My goodness, Shane. First of all, Marvel, get your act together and get my boy back in the MCU. Seriously, it has been
Get him
five.
back in the game.
Seriously. I mean, I'm glad he's going to be in Doomsday, but he should have been in a Marvel. We should have had at least a sequel before Doomsday. Seriously. But anyway.
100%.
This is my favorite origin story, Shane, of all time. So actually, from here on out, like seven through one, these are all films that have hit probably my top 25 easily.
Mhm.
Uh, Shang-Chi is no exception to that. I love the origin. Simu Liu, I think, was perfectly cast for this role. I love the sort of platonic relationship he has with Aquafina.
Yep.
Justice for the Mandarin or Wenwu, Tony Leung, excuse me,
Yep.
is so good in this movie. I
Yes.
mean, so freaking good. Even Justice for Trevor Slattery. I loved him in this movie. He was so funny.
For those who had not seen All Hail to the King short film, you're
Hmm.
really missing out
Hmm.
because Trevor Slattery is one of the best characters in the MCU. Period. It's fantastic. And
I
him coming
thought
back.
he, I thought he wasn't coming back after that short film. I was like, oh, he gone. He's dead.
Well, we got him back, and we got Morris, and
Morris.
now we're gonna get him in a Wonder Man. So
So
there you go.
yeah, but this is some of the most creative action in the entire MCU. Also, I still love that bus scene, the scaffolding
Yep.
scene. Shane is great.
Yep.
That third act is so bonkers nuts.
Nuts.
And I get what people probably got maybe turned off by it because the film up to that point has a sort of groundedness to it, where the third act kind of gets all fantastical and people are like, oh, that's kind of this is where the MCU really is. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this kind of keeps up with the tone of the film for the most part.
Well, and like it's dealing with well, his magic rings, like,
Thank you, Shane.
like, come on,
Thank you,
like,
Shane.
and like the martial arts elements of this is incredible. And like, I'm a action movie snob. I love action movies,
Hmm.
and the action in this is easily the best out of any
Hmm.
of these Marvel movies. Like the actual action,
Yes.
and this is they introduced too many characters post Endgame, and they should have just introduced a couple and made built them up more. This should have had a sequel already. What are we doing? Where's Blade? Whatever. I'm gonna
Where's
stop now.
Also, get like the soundtrack is really good here. Like
Yes.
the action is top notch. And I love too that it's this film is really entertaining, but it also has some really good. It's a family film at its heart and core.
Yeah.
Like this is a family film. It's a family drama.
Yes.
The
It is about
introduction to
family.
take notes, Vin Diesel. This is how you do a family film. But
Yeah.
the Tony Leung and how we meet how the Wenwu and his wife how they meet
That scene was
beautiful.
amazing.
I love
Loved
that
it.
scene. Yes. So yeah, Shang-Chi is my number six. Number five, Shane.
Yeah.
This to me,
Somebody watched some Ang Lee movie
oh, for
and was like,
absolutely.
we're pulling this in here. So
Now I didn't think Shane anything was gonna top Shang-Chi for a while. It's like, man, okay, maybe we hit Brand New Day, Doomsday. Okay, maybe.
mhm. And
My
then we
number
got number four
five.
or number five.
Well, my number five has four people in it. The Fantastic Four First
There we go.
Steps. There you go, Shane. Yes. So my number five is the Fantastic Four. We did a spoiler review for this, right, on your channel?
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
so
Mhm.
I'll be a little bit quicker on this one, but gosh, Shane, the more I rewatch this movie, the more I fall in love with these characters and this world, and it actually makes me happy that they didn't. Because my thoughts going into this were that, all right, Fantastic Four, they're gonna fight Galactus. Galactus is gonna beat them, and they're gonna go into our universe. I'm glad it didn't end that way because I'm actually
Mhm.
looking forward to spending at least a little bit more time in this universe in Doomsday before Poppy ends up getting destroyed
Yeah.
by Doom. But speaking of family, this is the quintessential family film right here. I mean,
Mhm.
these four, they feel like an actual family. The chemistry they share with one another is great. Reed and Sue feel like a married couple.
They do. That opening scene, just like
Yes,
you feel it.
you feel it. Johnny feels like the cool uncle. Ben feels like kind of the heart of the entire family. But my goodness, Shane, how many more times can we talk about how great Vanessa Kirby is in this movie? I mean, I don't want to say she carried the film because I think they all do great, but she really is kind of the emotional heartbeat of this film right
Yep.
here. Uh, I see some people now are kind of like bashing, or not bashing, but criticizing that her speech. I still love that speech she gives out in public. It's great, but her performance here is really great. Galactus done right.
Hmm.
Thank you for whatever Tim Story did in that far with that Rise of Silver Surfer. Galactus was done right here, Shane. I'm
Yep.
glad they didn't kill him off. So hopefully we see him more in the next saga
I
for
am
the MCU.
assuming we will, just like Dormammu.
Oh, we're definitely gonna see Dormammu again for sure,
Well,
for sure.
because this did have a very similar type of hunt moment
Uh-huh.
of we just really pissed off that like extremely powerful villain. They're
Yes.
gonna be back for us.
Well,
And
okay.
well, and I feel like that's a good way to deal with Galactus because like Galactus isn't somebody you could just easily beat unless you're Ghost Rider, apparently in the Fantastic Four animated series. But we haven't introduced him yet. But I think how they handled the character in that moment really sets up. There's a grudge now. He isn't just eating. He isn't just hungry now. He's hungry for revenge.
Hmm.
And that's how you set up a sequel.
Yes. And so my couple takeaways from this game were like, I feel like for those like me who really became attached to the OG6 Avengers, I feel like this group here came the closest to like I can see them kind of being the new faces of the MCU moving forward because Marvel has kind of had that problem of really finding a face. And I feel like part of that was too many characters, but also I think they were probably hoping Chadwick would be that, but unfortunately he
He
passed away.
100% was gonna be.
Yeah,
And like you still have Strange, which I feel like he probably should be there.
he should be.
Um
Yes.
Obviously Brave New World didn't go as they probably hoped.
I th
So
I think it did justice for making you believe that Sam could lead the Avengers, but not the face of the MCU.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we have the Fantastic Four at least, and
and
Doctor
Spider-Man,
Strange
and
and
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So there you go. That's what we got.
and also too, I feel like hopefully this because this felt like Shane the closest to the Infinity Sagas any other Marvel film did in terms of like this was a great year for Marvel in terms of Thunderbolts was
Yes.
perfect. Brave
Yes.
New World it was a mess, but I feel like that isn't as bad as people say it is. I think there's
No.
a lot of redeeming things about that
I
movie.
think it's an enjoyable movie. It's
I do
just
too.
it needed some refinement.
It did get refined. That's why there's like seven writers on the dang thing.
Less yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Fantastic Four is great. I am they did the job right of like, okay, we're probably gonna be following these characters the most going into Doomsday and Secret Wars, probably.
Yep.
So yeah.
So things to look forward to, you know.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. We are what, 13 months out now? 13 and a half months out
We're
now?
getting close to at least a trailer probably next month when we see Avatar. So
Yep.
got
At
that
least
Shane. Can we do
at
a
least
just
that'll
a
make the 30 minutes before the 3 hour and 20-minute movie feel at least more or less burdensome than just like, why am I sitting through 30 minutes of this when I already have 3 hours
oh
plus
Shane, so
after?
you didn't I didn't tell you what I'm doing. I'm just going to see the Avengers trailer that I'm leaving. I'm not even going to see Avatar. I'm just going to see the Doomsday trailer and I'm walking out.
Damn.
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't let the James Cameron.
You're doing that. You're meet Joe Blacking, Fire and Ash.
Listen, on my rewatches of Avatar Fire and Ash, I'm just gonna go for the Avengers trailer and whatever because I gotta they're gonna show a lot of big trailers before that movie just to get
Yeah.
more butts and seats.
Well,
So probably
It's Disney's last big movie of the year, so you know they're going to be pushing
every
everything
bit.
for next year.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get goosebumps when Mandalorian and Grogu trailer comes on again because
that trailer. I'm sorry. I'm glad you got enjoyed for that. That trailer did nothing for me. Zero, zip, nada.
that
I
music hit,
wish
and
I
I'm
was
like,
like you.
um, I saw Babu Frick and Grogu, and I'm like, these are adorable. I love them.
Well, see, so I was talking about that with Zach, and like, if they were smart, you just put Grogu all over the marketing, and that's how you get butts and seats. Don't even show anything about Mandalorian. Just Grogu stuff. Just show all the
Well, to be
adorable
fair, they
cuteness.
didn't throw show Din very much. I'm
No, they didn't.
pretty sure they had more Babu Frick in
I
the
yeah,
trailer than him.
you're probably
But
right.
anyway, I'm gonna be really weirded out when I hear Jeremy Allen White's voice coming out
I'm
of
not ready for
a
that.
hut. But anyway,
Yes, chef. Oh
what
wait, wrong,
is
wrong thing, wrong.
your number four?
Shane, this is quite the opposite of a comic book movie. This is the only A24 film on my list.
Okay.
But this is a film that really, really hit me in ways I was not expecting. It's Celine Song's Past Lives. My goodness, Shane.
Beautiful film.
Beautiful,
Beautiful film.
heartbreaking. This was the Greta Lee coming out party.
Yep.
And it's funny because I had already seen her in the morning show, so I kind of already had a glimpse of how great she already is, but
Mm.
I was not expecting this shit. And I was like, holy crap, you are. Okay. All right. We gotta take her more seriously. Yeah, that's right. Put her in Tron. That's how you really show how great of an actress she is. Put her in Tron Legacy or Ares. Anyway.
So, quick side note: Greta Lee's so good in past lives and has gotten such a big increase in profile since then that when I started watching the new season of the morning show, I'm like, Greta Lee's in the show? Said I didn't even
Damn.
put two and two together that she had been in the show.
Because she looks very different in the morning show than she does in past lives.
I think it's more just like, to be fair, there is so many famous people in the morning show,
So many. Yeah.
and also so many damn people in the morning show. There's so many characters in the show. And then it's just like I feel like she finally is starting to get like more of like a front kind of piece. So I'm like, wait a minute. I love Greta Lee. She's in the show. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
Yeah,
continue talking
Celine.
about past lives.
Yeah, Celine. I mean, be careful what you wish for, Shane. But Celine Song's direction here, this is one of the more mature films of the decade, I feel like, Shane, because this is a romance film, but it doesn't shy away from the uncomfortableness,
Yeah.
the awkwardness, the heartbreak of it all. Is it T-O-U? Is that how you pronounce his name? T-O, T-O-U? T-O-U? How do you pronounce his name?
I don't formally know how to pronounce his name, so I am not going to join in and
You want to talk about shit like heartbreak? I feel like T-O-U was us in this movie of just, brother, I feel you. I feel you. Because we all know dang well why he's going to New York. I remember he's talking that scene where he's talking to his buddies like, "Oh, she's married? Oh, I didn't. Huh, oh yeah. Oh, oh yeah.
what?
What? I didn't know." We
Sir,
all
you gandered. We
yes,
knew you knew.
yes. No one just goes to the other side of the world just for a little vacation. We know
Nobody
damn well what they're
casually
doing here.
just like
Yes, and because you feel that when they're doing the sightseeing in New York, and she knows damn well why he's there.
yes.
But I almost want to say shit like all this film is beautiful, but as much as I love those two characters, every time I rewatch this film, my man Arthur, good for you. Good for you.
He's such
Husband of the
a
year.
unexpected presentation of that archetype
Hmm.
because here's the thing, most films like this would be from the perspective of Kiryu's character.
Absolutely.
That is how most of these stories are, where it's like, oh, this unrequited love. I'm gonna go find them. Oh, wait, they're married. And by the end, they leave their not as interesting or not as nice significant other for you because, that's the magical moment of it. But this is from the perspective of the woman
Yes.
in that scenario, and us really realizing like she has a really nice life.
A great life. Yeah.
Yeah, and like she has a really nice, very understanding, maybe a little too understanding husband, who's just like that whole scene where the three of them are at that restaurant and they're talking to each other, and Arthur can't
Oh,
even understand what's going on, and you're just like
I
feeling so
feel like
terrible
he,
for Arthur. So
I feel like he understood a little bit more than we were
probably,
led to believe, but he's just playing it off that way.
yeah.
You know, and it's funny too because both with this and with Materialist, right? Both films I love.
Mhm.
And we're doing a Materialist Past versus Past Lives episode on the podcast next month. I'm really excited
Oh,
about that. Yeah. So
very
I
nice.
might I might have to put you on for that one. But um the structure is very like in the same vein as like how a rom-com or any romance film is structured. But I feel like what separates, especially this film from others, it's just her writing
Yes.
and letting things actually flesh out. There's no like flashy pop music sequence. Everything is very quiet. It's very melancholic. It's very earned from an emotional standpoint. And I feel like too the because we don't spend a lot of time with them as kids early on, but we needed like those 10 to
Yeah.
15 minutes to really like, okay, so here's what's really going on. Like this love they have has, been there for how old were they, Shane? Like 8, 9, 10 years old, something like that,
Yeah,
something
that
crazy.
there's already connection there.
It's really poetic, and this whole thing about what was it called? The Inyan, how that kind of factors into the film of, hey, what if in a past life,
Yeah.
what are we like, because even I sat there because I saw this with someone I was dating at the time, and we kind of had a really interesting emotional conversation about this stuff kind of afterwards. Um, I don't know if I would ever take a girl to see this on a first watch, Shane. I don't know.
It's
I feel like
interesting
it's
because
dangerous territory.
I saw this with my wife
Okay.
and Haley. So we were visiting in Boston, and this was playing in Boston, and we went to go see this. We had a very in Boston traffic. We had a very lengthy conversation of about this movie on the way back to Haley and Brandon's apartment. Was talking about this because it's such a rich and beautiful film, and so many things to process about it. It
Yes.
is a great film, and Celine's song is incredible. And I'm down. Oh, you know what? Now I'm mad because I just did the episode before this is a Q&A, and somebody asked me who are your like up and coming directors from the last 5 years. I should have said Celine Song, should have been one of them. Because
Yes. Yeah.
between this and Materialists, um, well,
She's on her way.
she's up
She's on her way to getting that Oscar win for sure, Shane. I don't know if she kind of has to break away from the romance to get that. I don't know because she's made two more of a drama and kind of than a rom-com. That's not really a rom-com.
Well, they are dramatic romances. So
Yes.
like these aren't comedies, like these are
No.
dramatic films. And maybe they should stop promoting them as rom-coms.
Materialist more
Materialists.
so. Yes, materialist more so than Past Lives. I feel like
Yeah.
Past Lives kind of gets you
I don't even remember the
there.
trailer for Past Lives. I do distinctly remember the Materialist trailer. I'm like,
Yeah.
A24, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, Rod, what is your number three?
So this is one of the 2025 films Shane I mentioned.
Okay.
Or this is the second 2025 film. Yeah. This one I just watched like a month ago. No, 2, 3 weeks ago. Oh my God. Stephen King, you sick bastard. The Long Walk.
Richard Bachman.
Shane, I have a list of films I don't know if I could ever watch again. I don't know if I could sit there and watch The Long Walk again. I will because it's
Yes.
a masterpiece.
Yep.
But I found myself in tears before the competition even started. Judy Greer has this scene
Judy
with,
Greer.
oh my goodness, Shane, that scene with her and Cooper Hoffman in the beginning. I was like, okay, nope, I'm not ready for this. I'm not doing this. I'm not
Nobody
ready.
was ready for that movie.
No.
Nobody.
And Shane, I'm
Nobody.
watching this in my house in a theater. I got my legs kicked up, and I'm thinking, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm having a good day. Why am I watching this right now? But I
My
just
wife
heard,
cried for literally half of this movie.
yeah, yeah.
Literally half of this movie.
And it's funny because I've seen the criticism. I wonder if you had the same experience of like criticism of these characters aren't written well. I don't see that. I don't get that criticism at all, Shane. I think
No,
they're really
here's the
well
thing.
fleshed out
This
characters.
is my number two movie of 2025 so far. Like
Mine too. Yeah, why
this, I can guess what your number one is. You can
not?
probably guess mine too. This movie was emotionally devastating.
hmm
It is intelligent in how it's exploring the greater context of this, but also just human nature and connection.
Yes.
The characters in this are incredible. Like the characters that you're left with, and they're so fascinating, each of them in their own specific way. The performances are off the charts. And just how Francis Lawrence, like up to this point, I just kind of perceive Francis Lawrence as someone who you really know how to direct a blockbuster type of film and do it in a really effective way. And like the closest I've gotten to being like, wow, you really made something incredibly special was Catching Fire.
Yeah,
And
that's still my favorite film with it. Oh, before this, that was my favorite film of his was
correct.
Catching Fire. Yeah,
And then this one, I'm like, you just took this up to a whole other level. Because like I've seen a lot of his films, whether it's like I Am Legend or,
great movie. Yeah.
wow, he's the David Yates of Hunger Games at this point.
He is. He
just
is.
just keep making Hunger Games movies. But like this was something special.
Yeah.
The way they directed this film was really incredible. The one criticism that I've heard since the movie that I could actually kind of get onto, but it doesn't take away from me.
hmm
I love Mark Hamill chewing the scenery in this, but somebody proposed, what if you had more of like a Gene Hackman type? Who's like this
Hmm.
colder, more like I could have been okay with a different type of performance from that, but I'm not taking any away from Mark Hamill being a complete and utter asshole and just chewing the scenery because I enjoyed that too.
Yeah, I did really enjoy Mark Hamill in this. I kind of wish we had a couple more scenes of him. But then as I was watching, I was like, oh, this the backstory around Cooper Hoffman and why he's doing what he's doing, why he's in this competition. I was like, okay, all right, I like this.
Mhm.
I want to talk for a second because there was a lot of deaths in here that really got to me. Ben Wang, oh my God. I think that was the one that got me the most, Shane, was his character.
Yeah.
Uh, that one hurt because of how it happened. You see, because for about half an hour, he is struggling to kind of finish it because his time's up. You just don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then how Art responds to it. And then you just hear like Olsen's cries. It's, oh, Shane, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
I'm getting goosebumps right now. Just listening to you talk about it. Because then
And
now I'm remembering it. I'm like, nope.
the score doesn't help at all. The score here is so beautiful.
I'm not going to be able to watch this movie for a while, but I
No.
will be watching it again
Yes,
because
that's the
it's just
messed up
that
thing
good.
about it, Shane. Yes, it's so messed up. And also, can we just talk for a second about how great David Johnson is as an actor? I
He's
love that man.
incredible.
Yeah.
Between this and Romulus, it's like this man has a bright future for himself for sure. Like obviously we already knew Cooper Hoffman had a bright future for himself, but like David Johnson has a bright future for himself. I'm all aboard of whatever he decides to do next for sure.
Another scene too, Shay, real quick. I don't want to spoil everything, but when he does reunite with his mom,
Nope.
yeah,
That was just
just
like
no.
a nope.
Can I get a hug, mom? And I was like, oh, please stop, just stop, just stop. And apparently
Judy Greer should get an Oscar nomination for Best
yes,
Supporting Actress for the minimal amount of time that she's in this movie.
and I
She
didn't know.
devastated me. And this is Cheryl from Archer.
Yeah.
Like I have heard the weirdest stuff come out of Judy Greer's voice
Oh,
in my life because of
mhm.
Archer. And then just watching something like this, I'm just like, I can't even.
There's I forgot what I was getting ready to say now.
Now you're just thinking about Archer.
Yeah, I
Now
was
I'm
thinking
just
about
thinking
that
about
shit.
Archer.
Oh, I was gonna. Nope, I lost it again.
Well, if
If
it
it comes
comes
back to
back to
me,
you.
yeah, I'll let you
Yep.
know. It's back to me. What are we doing now? Number two?
Yep.
The one movie, Shane. I'm like, can I don't know if The Long Walk can top this. I don't think it will. And I just rewatched it the other day, so I was like, I don't think it will. But whew, sinners,
Hmm.
sinners,
I
sinners,
just
sinners.
rewatched this last weekend
Yeah,
and it still hits.
still hits, still hits. Because we were just talking about this the other day too for our best of 2025 horror. Um, the horror stuff in here, Shannon, is like secondary to me in this movie. Like all the vampire stuff, it's all secondary. I just want more of them make building the juke joint up. I just hanging out in the juke joint. That's what I want. I don't even want the vampire stuff. I just want the first hour or so of this movie, then the back half.
Well, that's what it's about, though,
That's what it's
right?
about. And the
Yeah.
epilogue tells you that. Oh, Shane, this movie's so freaking good. I don't put me on my soap opera on this soapbox on this, Shane, because I can talk for hours about this movie. Um, Ryan Coogler, this is his magnum. The man has made six films, and I think this is his magnum opus. Is it six or five? Five.
Fruitvale,
Creed, two
Creed.
Black Panthers,
Yep.
and this. So five. Yeah. I don't know why I feel like he made something else. Um, I don't know, Shane, if I'm gonna love a Ryan Coogler film more than this ever. I don't
Gonna be
know.
hard.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
really
be
hard.
real hard.
So damn you, Ryan Coogler. But I have been in love with this man's filmography since Fruitvale Station, and I am a champion of him, and I will continue to be a champion of him. And it's films like this, Shane, where I'm like, I know you're gonna do Black Panther 3, but I don't want you to do Black Panther 3 anymore. But no one can do Black Panther 3 like you're gonna do it, so fine.
Yeah.
But like when he's done with Marvel, because he will be done with Marvel eventually, because he's doing
Yeah.
X, he's gonna do X-Files. I am really looking forward to seeing more original films from him because if we get stuff like this, holy crap, the sky's the limit for Ryan Coogler's
Well, I
career.
kept saying, why aren't they getting Ryan Coogler to do Blade? And then he made this, and now I'm like, I don't know if I want Blade at this point because I don't know if Blade can be better than
Blade just
this.
went out the window. I'm like, yeah, because all Blade's gonna be compared to is this. That's all it's gonna be compared to.
Yep. And I'm
Listen,
just like, oh man.
um,
Marvel better. It's like I want them to do Blade so bad. I'm like, wait a little bit now, because
Wesley Snipes was right. There's only gonna be one Blade.
yo,
He was right.
like Michael B. Jordan gives two incredible, very different performances because these are two completely different human beings.
You forget that he's playing twins sometimes. You really do. And I don't know if I prefer Smoke or Stack more. I think I like Stack a little bit more. That's because I think he's a little bit more layered, especially with his relationship with Haley Steinfeld.
Mm,
But man, I mean everyone here is wonderful, Shane. I mean between him,
everybody,
Miles
top to bottom.
freaking Canton is great. Delroy Lindo never phones it in. Uh I think I'm gonna shit my pants, y'all. It's just I love him so much. The Asian couple, Shane. I always forget their names, but I love them too. There's some heartbreak there
Yeah.
with those two. Um,
Jack O'Connell is making a run for being like the best villain actor you're gonna get
oh my
between
Lord.
this and I can't wait for Bone Temple in January to see what he does in his
Yes.
tracksuit mafia
Hmm.
um doomsday cult. So
Wumi Masaku, wonderful. Omar Miller, so good as
um
Cornbread.
I've that scene where they try to get cornbread and how his wife responds. It's
Yep.
so bad every time. But like I don't know if I've seen a scene sexier than in that little shack when they're reconnecting
Oh my
and
God.
then and I'm just like,
Hmm.
damn.
Hmm.
I'm like,
Well, I was messing with Zach too. I was like, if y'all are waiting to see Haley Steinfeld grown up, look no further than Sinners here because this is Haley Steinfeld grown up.
it's one of those things where I'm like, I love True Grit so much.
Yes.
And like I've known her since she was like I've seen her on screen since she was like what, 13 or whatever she was in that. I'm like,
Hmm.
and watching this, I'm like, oh no. I like even just on Halloween, seeing her and Josh Allen dressed up as Bobby Boucher and Vicky Valancourt. Um, but like this whole cast is incredible. The music, there is not a score. I've heard some amazing scores this year. This is actually a really good year for scores.
Yes.
If Ludwig Göransson doesn't win this year, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Well, I think, like I
I'm
said,
so mad.
I think this is gonna get a lot of technical awards, and I pray Ludwig wins for his score here. But even the soundtrack too, like aside from the musical score, the soundtrack is really great. I'm still
The
listening to the
original
soundtrack.
songs are incredible.
Yes, so good. And then, Shay, can we talk about how great that epilogue is? That might be my favorite just scene in films this year. That epilogue is so freaking good.
Rod, I don't know if you're a fan of blues music. I'm a big fan of blues music. And when I was sitting there and I saw Buddy Guy on screen, I'm like, because like there's not many blues musicians from that era of blues music still alive.
Hmm.
And seeing him pop up there, I'm like, that was a master stroke of casting right here. Ryan
Yes,
Coogler, I salute you.
yes.
And that whole scene, oh,
Hmm.
it's just
Well,
it's
because it really just it makes you remember because before that scene we had just been through about an hour of vampire shenanigans and
mayhem. Yep.
and and smoke mowing down the clan, right? So it's
Yeah.
like we have been through so much, and then we that scene kind of like harkens back to why we love this movie so much. It's about these people having one day of freedom, one night of just not having to deal with white people or going out picking cotton or whatever. It's just like we as a people can just be in here together, enjoying ourselves. We're free just for this one damn evening. And then of course mayhem ensues afterwards. But yeah, that scene, Shane, really just kind of brought home everything about why I love this movie so much.
Well,
Um,
and no matter how many years and years and years they live on, it'll never top that night when they were all together.
and Smoke even said, or Stack even says
Yeah.
that. He even says that last time I saw my brother, last time I saw the sun, the last time I was free. Like, and then that song kicks in. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Well, Shane, I literally thought after that movie was over, nothing's gonna top this year. Nothing's gonna top this for this year. How did he get Best Picture and anything else but this movie? How? How?
We're gonna
Yeah,
find out. And we
we're
better
gonna find
find
out.
out that Sinners wins Best Picture. That's all I'm saying.
Hmm.
But Rod, how do you top that? What's your number one?
The film that probably if there's a lot of films on here that mean a lot to me, especially the films we just talked about, Sinners, Past Lives, The Long Walk, and Fantastic Four. But no film has probably meant more to me this year. Like I said, Sinners probably came close. But Spider-Man No Way Home shit has probably been the film that has meant the most to me this decade. Shane, can we just take for this film actually exists? Can we just take a second? This film actually exists. I don't think any Marvel or Spider-Man fan would ever like if you were to tell 2012 Roderick that you're gonna see a film with Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and Tobey Maguire. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, sure,
Okay,
sure, yeah, sure. Go away, go away.
go away.
Yeah, this film, Shane, and I know people have been kind of criticizing it, and there are things to complain about in this movie for sure. Uh, the multiverse stuff. Okay, I thought I heard something in my house going on. The multiverse stuff in this movie, Shane, is not perfect by any stretch. Um, hey, Shane, I need to pause for 1 second, okay? Just for 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that this film exists, Shane, and here's the thing, the like I said, the multiverse stuff is messy. It's really
Mhm.
messy. I blame more Marvel than anything because I don't think they've stuck to any of the multiverse rules that they've set up in any of their multiverse projects.
No,
Um, so we'll find out what the Russos and Doomsday actually stick to, what they don't stick with. But at the heart of it, I think this is the best Peter Parker story we've ever had because of what he has to go through, what he has to give up, which is everything. Oh, and by the way, he
literally
lost Aunt
everything.
May. Yeah,
Ah,
that Aunt May scene is still devastating. I'd be hard pressed if anyone would disagree that this is Tom Holland's best performance in his MCU career so far.
100%.
This is Tom Holland. Is it weird? This might be the best performance of his career, Shane.
It's a
I mean,
good question, to
I
be
loved him
honest.
in Cherry and the what was that? The movie that on Netflix, The Devil All the Time. I liked him in those two things, but he really sticks out here. I was like, this is
Mhm.
really great work from him because he's forced to grow up in this movie, finally.
Yep.
No Avengers to help him anymore. I mean, none of that. And his relationship with Zendaya, who's also great in this movie. Not the best performance of her career by any stretch, but she's great as
Correct.
MJ. Toby and Andrew were done right here,
Yep.
especially Andrew. This Andrew needed this more than Toby did. Because at least Toby got a third movie, Shane, where
Mhm.
Garfield here didn't really he got shortchanged here because the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not did not get received well, which was not his fault.
Yep.
None of that was his fault. It was great to see him kind of get his due. The chemistry between the three Spider-Man was great. Them swinging around Shane in the third act is, I mean, that's just a Spider-Man fan's wet dream right there. I mean, that was just a nerdgasm 3000 right there. That just perfect. The villains here, I mean, even some villains got their due. Jamie Foxx, redemption for Jamie Foxx, Shane. My God,
So much better in this than whatever
yes.
the hell Amazing Spider-Man 2 was.
And yeah, I just think this is a great Peter Parker story. It's I'm excited for Brand New Day because now we finally get to see Peter kind of where Peter Parker needs to be in his life right
Mhm.
now, which is alone. Well, not really like alone, but
With
not a lot of
Punisher.
yeah, not a lot of resources though, right? Not a lot of
Yeah.
Avengers. Not there's no Tony
Well, yeah,
Stark.
he doesn't have Tony Stark anymore and Tony
Yes,
Stark's tech anymore.
correct.
And this is like um this feels like where he's coming into his own because one of the biggest criticisms of his first trilogy is that like he's just like Tony Stark Jr. that they turned him into. But like this is him taking what he learned from Tony Stark
Hmm.
and shedding away like the training wheels. And he's Spider-Man now. Him swinging at the end of this movie in that suit, it's like this is Spider-Man now. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this new film because like I want to see what this Spider-Man looks like at this point because we've been on this journey with him and it's an exciting thing to think about.
This film also has you mentioned one of them already, which was the final swing. This is my favorite final swing of any of the Spider-Man movies, just because of what it represents in that
Mm.
moment and for the future.
Yeah.
But that conversation with Happy at May's grave, love that. But that scene between him and MJ, where he has to make the choice of do I tell her who I am or do I leave this alone? It makes me, Shane, kind of, I'm not unhappy about it because I knew she was going to be in it, but like I kind of would have liked to have a film without MJ in it. Just one. I don't need like three or four, but just at least
I'm
this one.
actually kind of like I wish they committed to the bit where it's like if you're really going to commit to this, like why are we backtracking into any of his like past life stuff? So I'm gonna wait to see how the movie actually turns out before I make any kind of judgment on
Hmm.
including those characters or not. But I think it's a little weird. But for this film in particular, this is this is a tough film for me because like I do love this film. Some of the things that took away from it, and this is something that's starting to wear on me, and I'm really hoping this doesn't really hit me with Doomsday too, is I'm starting to get really sick of this hodgepodge of modern blockbuster filmmaking they're doing. And I know they had to do this because this particular film because of COVID. You can tell that some of these actors never step foot on set. Like Chris Evans was never here. They used his voice and they recycled scenes. You know, Thomas Hayden Church never stepped foot on this set. He used his voice and they recycled shots. And that kind of stuff, like, it legitimately took me out. Like, the more I thought about it, it did take me out of the movie. Nothing was taking me out of the movie during my actual experience watching this because the shrieks of teenage and college age girls when Andrew Garfield showed up on screen was one of the most deafening things I've ever experienced. Just like the the highs of this movie are so high, but the filmmaking of it really bothered me at times. And when I can literally tell that you're and like I have the same reservations with Multiverse of Madness, which I love a lot too. Like you can tell that they hodgepodged a bunch of stuff together. And the more and more behind the scenes stuff I hear about Doomsday and them being like, I never interacted with another human being making this movie, and I'm just like, that
I
kind of
don't
stuff's
fully believe that though. I think these actors are playing coy, but I think they're trying to misdirect because the Russos are
I
kings of
hope I
misdirection.
hope that's true. I know for a fact that that was true for this movie, and the fact that I could tell. So like, but there's so many amazing things about this movie. The Spider-Man interactions between the three of them are incredible. I love the whole shenanigans with him and these villains. And
Yes.
that turn
Oh, oh,
when
oh, oh,
when
oh.
the goblin took over, I'm like, that the spider sense sequence and
So good.
these fights are brutal.
That apartment fight is brutal,
The
man.
goblin kicks the shit out of him.
Hmm.
Like, gosh, shit
But
out
he's
of him.
supposed to, though. He's supposed to.
Well, and
Yes.
that's the thing, because like the Green Goblin is a vicious, like this is that goblin. Those Raimi Spider-Man movies were brutal. That fight at the end of the first Spider-Man was brutal as hell.
Hmm.
And I'm glad they carried that over. They didn't pull punches here. And the death of Aunt May gets me every time because like I, it took me a while to get past the Aunt Hottie thing, to be perfectly honest. But like Marissa Tomei, I love Marissa Tomei. She
She's
is one
wonderful.
of my favorite actors. Faison, I appreciate that. And like from my cousin Vinny to the wrestler, I think she is absolutely incredible. And I was gutted
Yeah.
when they did that, personally did that to me. Thanks, Marvel.
You know what's great about that scene too? It's just because she's very much has been a supporting player in this trilogy or in the home trilogy. But man, when you miss her so much when she dies. Like it still
Yeah,
hits really, really hard because that was the turning point of like, yeah, he about to lose everything now.
yeah,
Because he kind of realizes a lot of this is you're still a kid, but a lot of this is your
yeah,
fault. This
yeah.
could have been avoided.
It's too much responsibility for your kid.
Well, Doctor Strange
And
even told him that like if you keep doing this double life, it's gonna come back to haunt you. So
Strange was being a dick, but like he was right.
yes,
He was 100% right. And I still love how they got through. If it weren't for Alfred Molina, who's part of the Shut Your Mouth crew, because you can't, don't put them out there to promote your film. They'll ruin it. Um, they weren't going to show any of that. They were going
no,
to 100% just focus on the fact that he's in this conflict with Stephen Strange, which is literally the first act of the movie, which that's how you should promote a movie. And
yes,
in hindsight, my God, if I showed up and all those villains showed up and I didn't know, I would have like
Shane, can you imagine the marketing had the Russos directed this? We wouldn't know diddly squat about
No,
anything.
no, it would have been Endgame all over again because we knew
Yes.
nothing,
No.
and it was for the best. And they better do that with Doomsday too.
They are going to lean in heavily on
Well,
Doom.
we've
Yeah.
already seen Doom, so we're definitely going to be getting that.
But they won't do what they did with Multiverse and Madness. They aren't gonna show any cameos, any surprise appearances. They are gonna really just focus on who was announced, and that's what they're gonna stick to for the
I
majority of the
didn't want
marketing.
that damn chair thing anyway.
No one did.
Damn
'Cause It
chair
kind of ruined it
announcements.
kind of ruined Thunderbolts a little bit. Now,
Yeah,
even though most of us probably knew like
I didn't need to
Taskmaster,
know Bob was going to return.
that one, yeah, I didn't even know about that one. That one pissed me off. I was like, okay,
And
really?
to be frank, we all kind of knew what Taskmaster was all about.
Yeah. Once we saw that trailer, we're like, oh, bye, Taskmaster. It was fun. We,
I'm
we
like, Taskmaster, you look like you've been CGI'd into this shot.
what? Me?
This shot very much at the end of the movie that you're throwing on in.
Can I ask you a
Um,
question though, Shane? I do want to ask you
yeah,
this question about No Way Home though.
yeah.
Do you think moving forward, because we kind of already talked about the whole him being on his own kind of a thing. Look, I'm just excited about for anyone about Brand New Day and how we're gonna get Punisher and Hulk in this. On the flip side though, Shane, I needed, and I told this to Ben on one of our episodes, I just need a Spider-Man MCU movie without all the MCU characters in it. Just,
Well,
like I said,
that's
I'm
Spider
excited for
Verse.
Hulk. Exactly, right? But even
So, well, and I think that's the thing. Sony has their Spider-Man movies, which is Spider Verse,
Mhm.
and this is the MCU. It's like people who wanted a Superman movie with just Superman in it.
Mm.
Sorry, sucks for you. You didn't get it. So, and that's kind of how it feels. And you know, the superhero movie that I have on my list is very much an example of when we get to just enjoy a character as just them.
Yeah, here we go.
And I want that to continue. I'm looking at you, Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Netflix is about to buy him, Shane. What are you talking about, Warner Brothers? Netflix is about to buy him.
I swear to God, if Netflix buys Warner Brothers and does anything to the Batman, I'm gonna lose it. But we'll get there
We'll
because
get
I
there.
still need the Batman part two,
Uh-oh.
and preferably part three. But we need to get to part two first.
Yes, we
But
do.
anyway, so that was Rod's list. Um, Let me confirm one crossover.
Okay.
So there we go. I'll move. We're gonna move a little bit faster through mine though, but I do want to throw out some honorable mentions. So like from 2020, Another Round was probably
Oh,
the
good one.
big um honorable mention I want to throw out there. From 2021, Tragedy of Macbeth, big Cohen fan. I think what Joel Cohen did with that was excellent. Tick Tick Boom. I still listen to this music regularly. And to be frank, Andrew Garfield should have won Best Actor that year for me. West Side Story. The Last Duel. God damn you, House of Gucci, stealing all the thunder from this 1 month after this came out. The Fablemans, Everything Everywhere, and The Northman, all from 2022, are ones that really stood out to me. 2023, The Iron Claw. Love that movie. Movie devastates me. Pillars of the Flower Moon, Boy and the Heron were a couple other ones from there. 2024, Challengers, A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, and Honora. And then 2025, The Long Walk, Life of Chuck, and Sorry Baby. My God, I love that movie so much.
The more I have thought about that movie, the more I love it, Shane, and it's gonna be pretty high on my top films of this year. That was such a damn good
I
movie.
follow Ava Victor, and the more I watch what they put on their social media, I love them more and more and more and more. So, but let's get through this. So my number 10 is The Glass Onion. I am a humongous Knives Out fan. I loved this movie so much. And this cast is incredible. Even all the little, like, the Hugh Grants of it all, the Ethan Hawkes of it all, the Angela Lansbury of it all. Edward Norton was perfect, playing exactly the type of person that Edward Norton's great at. And honestly, all the layers to this, and I love me some Benoit Blanc. Honestly, I could watch Daniel Craig just play Benoit Blanc for forever. So there you go. That uh Wake Up Dead Man is my probably second most anticipated movie for the rest of this fall, behind Predator Badlands, because I love me some Predator. I'm probably the only person that has that at the top of their most anticipated movies for the rest of this year. But Glass Onion, love that movie. Anything to add?
Yeah, no, I don't know how fast you're gonna move here. So, I love Glass Onion. That's actually my favorite of the two, Shane. I think the cast here is fantastic. This actually kind of got me back on board with appreciating Kate Hudson again because I'm not the biggest Kate Hudson fan. I thought she was wonderful in this.
Yeah,
My favorite line in this movie, though, is "It's so smart, or it's so brilliant, it's dumb." No, it's just
it's just
dumb.
dumb. I love Catherine Hahn.
Oh,
She
she's
is
great.
so good.
So, what a
Dave
decade she's having.
Batista, yeah, and Dave Batista as this like Andrew Tate-ish kind of
Mhm.
douche guy is hilarious.
And Edward Norton's
Um,
fantastic here too. I love Edward Norton in this.
what a scumbag.
Oh, another performance where I'm like, I really can see maybe supporting actress.
Janelle Monáe.
Thank you, John. I'm gonna. She is so good in
She
this.
was so good in this.
Yeah,
So good in this. The I can't wait to see this new cast that they put together. I was actually just looking at it this morning, like looking over who's in this movie. I'm like, I know he's the victim, so he's probably not going to be in it as much, but I want to see Josh Brolin with that big ass beard and hair. Um,
I'm actually excited for Thomas Hayden Church. I'm really excited to see
yeah,
him.
he's a blast. I love it, like him in like Sideways and stuff like that. He's so much fun.
I'm just curious too if we're gonna go a third movie with an MCU actor being the villain here. Because Chris Evans, Edward Norton, who's next? We got Jeremy Renner and Thomas Hayden Church and Jeffrey Wright. So it's
Could be. We'll have to see. We will have to see. My number nine, much weirder, The Green Knight.
I love this movie up until the end. But I love this movie. The ending pissed me off.
Ralph Ineson is like whether he's Galactus or he's the Green Knight, man, this man's voice. And Dev Patel is a star and can anchor any movie. And because I hadn't seen her in a while, this movie just rewoken how much I love Alicia Vikander, and I need her in more things because she like there's a shot where this is just like pushing in on her, and she is one of the most alluring actresses in film today. And this cast is incredible, and this movie is downright gorgeous. I want to know what kind of alchemy they had to do to make this movie for $20 million. Like, how did you make this movie for $20 million? Like, I need to know. Where are your secrets, A24, David Lowery?
Less than Robert Downey Jr.'s paycheck for Homecoming, probably. So it's like-
Which was a part-time paycheck. Um,
exactly.
which this movie is like the score, the production, like the technical aspects of this film are just downright absolutely
This is
incredible.
I actually have the 4K of this movie. It is a gorgeous looking film. I
Absolutely.
think I don't know whose fault this is, whether it's the audience or the trailer. I think people were probably expecting more of an action heavy film. And it's like I could tell when I saw this movie opening weekend when I left,
People
just
just need to know when they see A24 on something.
that's what I'm
Where
saying. it's
It's
well,
weird.
I don't think people knew
Just
because this was a
accept it.
2021 film, right? Because I don't think people still knew like, hey, 24, do we really, you know?
It's weird. Get it. That's
This was
basically
this was trippy. I just the ending
yeah.
pissed me off Shane so much. I
Well,
hate
what's
it.
crazy is it has a Last Temptation of Christ ending.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's on purpose, but I'm really tempted to find out if David Lowery was influenced by the Last Temptation of Christ.
I probably did. Probably did.
Because it literally is the same exact ending as the Last Temptation of
I didn't
Christ.
even think about that. Okay. All right. Way to go,
And
Shane.
because I had to process that ending a lot after I watched it for the first time. I'm like, but what?
Yeah.
But like, this is one of those kinds of movies, but you do ask yourself, but what?
Let me
Probably
ask you this.
50 times.
Let me ask you without spoiling anything. Do you think that character swung or not?
I think now he did not.
I think so too. Yeah, I think,
I
yeah.
think I think because of the journey that said character went on, they learned their lesson. And I was because I didn't think that when I watched it the first time and it made me mad. And then I think I'm like, okay, I think so. And that's why this film's so interesting. It has layers.
It has layers. Onions have layers.
Um one of my favorite films ever, Shrek. Um Fantasy, not this kind of fantasy.
Different
Number
kind of
eight.
fantasy.
Yeah, number eight. Nosferatu, which I've watched for the third time now.
Really? Okay.
I just rewatched this on for my Halloween movie marathon along with Sinners.
All that. Okay.
Oh my God. I I am if I had to pick my favorite director of the past new director of the past 10, 15 years, without a doubt, it's Robert Eggers. Like I am on that frequency of that I love every one of his four films so far. And Werewolf, I'm there for Wolf. Whatever he's going to be making, whether it's that, his new werewolf film, or A Christmas Carol with Willem Dafoe he's doing, or that Labyrinth 2 movie apparently that he's going to make. I don't care. I will be watching Robert Eggers do his thing. And this movie is so gothic and creepy and unnerving. The music, the cinematography. Bill Skarsgård's not in this movie. I am convinced. I'm pretty sure he found the most freakishly large Romanian man that he can find um and threw him in this movie. Um like I honestly thought Bill Skarsgård should have been nominated for an Oscar for this because like where is he? Like this is acting. Then that like he created a character. Um I would still like to see the alternate universe version of this with Anya Taylor-Joy in it, but Lily Rose Depp really rose to the occasion. Love Nicholas Hoult in this. Willem Dafoe was having some fun Willem Dafoe moments in this. And it is brutal and creepy and unnerving. Like that carriage moment where that carriage shows up earlier in the film. Rewatching it again, I'm like, nope, yep, still freaks me the hell out. And this is just such an eerie and unnerving film. And it's very true to the original Murnau film. And I just love Eggers. So there you go.
I I'm glad because I think I kind of went with a little too high of expectations because of how much praise this film was getting. So when I went with a friend who I usually watch horror movies with, and we both kind of left a little underwhelmed by it. I think
I know
my
some people
favorite,
who are like, this was straight up boring. And I'm like,
I
I
wouldn't say
feel bad for you,
boring.
son.
I wouldn't say boring. I think my favorite sequence is when Nicholas Hoult first arrives at the castle. I think the tension, the eeriness of all that, I thought that was easily my favorite set piece in the entire film. I think it was just after that. I wouldn't say bored, but I was just like underwhelmed with kind of how everything else played out. That being said, Lily Rose Depp, give her flowers. She's wonderful in this movie. I loved
That
her.
scene where she goes full horny,
Yeah.
in an uncomfortable way, I'm just like, holy crap.
Hmm.
And anytime Bill Skarsgård's on screen, um, I don't know if I laughed harder at anything else than the neighbor line that he made.
Trying to remember the line.
To be neighbors. And I like knowing Robert Eggers, I knew that was supposed to be funny. And I'm just like, that was absolutely hilarious because like it's so weird and awkward, but like the I didn't know my Nosferatu needed to have a mustache, but he did. It was perfect. And here's the thing. I know he based him off of like period accurate Romanian royalty
Hmm.
because like he is a lord, like he has a castle and everything. I'm like, see, these are the things that I love about Robert Eggers because he's a historian and he'll go into this excruciating detail to actually do some interesting things with stuff. So good for you. Ah, and now for something completely different. My number seven is Oppenheimer.
Yes. Love this movie. Love, love, love this movie.
Christopher Nolan's like, okay, Academy, you want me to make a biopic? I'm gonna make the most unorthodox biopic. Still do it my way, and you're gonna give me a bunch of Oscars, right? And he was right.
Hmm.
This 3 hour film, I got to watch this at the Lincoln Square IMAX screen in New York
Nice.
City, the biggest IMAX screen in the country. And seeing Killian Murphy's face that enormous staring down at me was something else. The ending of this movie is so haunting and gave me an existential crisis for sure in the most uncomfortable of ways because the final lines of this movie are some of the best final lines I've heard in any movie in a while. And Killian Murphy's incredible. This whole ensemble is incredibly talented. It's insane the amount of famous people that Christopher Nolan got to show up in like minor roles in this movie.
How many
Um,
famous white people can I get in my movie? Well, I'm about to find out.
well, Rod, they weren't going to let any not white people involved in this
I
project
know.
in 1940. You really thought they would trust anybody but white people back then? At least it was historically accurate.
It was very historically accurate.
Accurate.
Absolutely.
They're like, we need immigrants, but only the white ones. And that's exactly what the US government did.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
but like, I love Matt Damon in this.
Oh, he's great.
Benny Safdie, Emily Blunt. Like, there's a couple moments. All she needed was a couple moments. That stare she gives Benny Safdie at the end, and
Oh,
then when she eviscerates Jason Clark, um, that was incredible. Robert Downey Jr.
my man.
is incredible in this,
Sing it,
and
Shane.
he disappeared into this reserved, very like you can feel a level of menace in this man, but it's directly where it needs to be, right underneath the surface. And here's the thing. I might not have been happy when they announced that he was coming back as Doom just from the fact that like I would have rather them given that to somebody else. But I'm 100% sure he's going to do well because Robert Downey Jr. is an incredible actor. And if you don't think so, watch Oppenheimer. So there
I
you
feel
go.
like Feige saw that performance and was like, yeah, I need you as Doom right
Like
now.
I need you back.
Yeah,
Because like
now.
because this is a very different type of performance than most people expect out of Robert Downey Jr., but he's an incredible actor. He did stuff like that back in the early 90s, but before drugs. And he railed his whole entire career.
Hmm.
But this film is an epic, and the score of this movie is an other kind of beautiful and majestic. It's just so awe-inspiring. And the cinematography, it's a Nolan film, so all the technical aspects are just going to be ridiculously off the charts.
I, you know what's funny, Shane, is he is still one of the few directors where he let you know too before the movie even came out. You need to see this movie on the biggest screen possible.
I did
And
literally the biggest that I could possibly find.
and I
So,
love that IMAX screenings were sold out for weeks. They had to re release this thing like what, two times in IMAX just so people could go
well,
back and
well,
see it.
Rod, The IMAX screenings for Odyssey are already sold out
Don't remind me,
a
Shane.
year in advance.
Just don't remind me. All right, just don't
A
really piss me off.
year in advance.
I know they're going to
Who
add more show
who
times, but that still pisses me off.
who is saving cinema? His name
Nolan.
is Christopher Nolan.
I think too, Shane. Like you said all the high points I was going to mention. People, and you mentioned something I was going to refer to also. People, because we're kind of living at this time now where theater going is not where it used to be.
No,
People want event filmmaking, event film going. They want the experience. Nolan makes a 3 hour biopic gave us that, Shane. A non-linear 3 hour drama.
this had the story structure of The Social Network.
Yes,
It was literally two hearings in a nonlinear structure, except it was about the making of the nuclear bomb. And this movie is R rated and somehow almost made $1 billion.
exactly.
Who else could have done that? Nobody.
That's what
Nobody.
I'm saying. The power of event filmmaking, event films, the power of great marketing. Because all those TV commercials, I remember over the summer just like watching it, whether it was like an NBA playoff game or watching, whatever. Make sure you see Oppenheimer on the biggest screen possible. And I love that this film didn't come out on digital or Blu-ray for a very long time. I love
Nope.
that.
And I
And I
got
made
on 4K immediately.
I did too.
Immediately.
And I was trying to find it, Shane, but I got it. I did see it opening weekend in IMAX, but it wasn't like the true IMAX. I did get to go a
Yeah.
week later. Drove like 45 minutes to go watch this in proper IMAX, 70 millimeters. So I was gonna show off that film print I got from the from after the film was over. I thank you, Nolan, for this.
Thank you, Nolan.
Yeah.
My number six is Sinners, so we already talked about that.
Well, we can talk about it some more, Shane. Come on.
My number five, which this is another film that I actually saw three times within the first year of this coming out, is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
3 times. That's a lot for you, Shane. Theaters? That's a lot for you.
Well, actually, I saw this twice in theaters within 5 days,
Who are you?
which is a lot for me because I don't rewatch things in theaters. My wife got sick the day that I was supposed to go with our friends, so then I did go with her like 4 days later. And then Haley put this as the review request nomination like 6 months later and wound up being picked and I rewatched it again
Nice.
on and I remember I watched this for the first time and I really, 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 really liked it. Fury Road's my second favorite film of all time. I was really happy. I watched it again 5 days later and then something clicked. I'm like, this is special. And I think I needed the space of this was not a 2.5 hour thrill ride like Fury Road was a 2 hour thrill ride.
Hmm.
This is an epic story that, like, the young girl who played Furious at the beginning, incredible. Anya
Love her.
Taylor Joy, incredible. Chris Hemsworth, this
My
is the
God.
best performance in his career. And I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating. This was something special out of this man. I love Tom Burke. I've loved him since I saw him in The Souvenir. And he is great as Praetorian Jack. And this is bringing that world of Mad Max back again. Is it slightly more CGI visible than Fury Road? Yes. But the action, when they have the action in this, it took me a little space to really just process just how amazing the action is in this movie because there isn't as much of it. But those action sequences, the attack on that rig and then the attack of the Bullet Farm are two of the best action sequences since Fury Road. Because George Miller, unlike anybody else, just purely understands how to shoot action in a movie. And this film still looks gorgeous. The one thing that, like, the score, I think felt a little bit too much of like just redoing Fury Road, except
I
less.
felt that a little bit. Yeah.
That's probably the only thing that I'm still that's a disappointment and not negative. Like I was so hoping for a whole new, brand new, just amazing score for this that I could listen to as much as I listened to the Fury Road one. It just that wasn't what they went for, and that's fine. Especially after the music from the trailer was so damn cool. But no, this is an epic story, and it just keeps reinforcing why I love Mad Max so much.
I think the unfortunate thing about this movie is that I don't know if we're going to get another Mad Max for a while because this film did not do well at the box office.
They just announced that The Wasteland, which is supposed to be the Fury Road sequel, is going to be an HBO Max original series now. So, and
When
I'm
was that
like,
announced? Did I miss that? When was that?
in the past couple weeks, and I'm like, I will take whatever I could get.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so they're reworking it as a series instead. And I'm like, I'll take whatever. Give it to
With
me.
Anya Taylor-Joy or
Well, it's going to be I think it's a direct sequel to Fury Road. So it's going to be following Max.
I doubt Tom Hardy would come back for that though.
Yeah. So, which to be honest, I don't think that really matters. What's
Mm-mm.
crazy is after watching Furiosa, I'm like, Tom Burke actually would have been a great Mad Max.
Probably.
Probably would have. We'll have to see. And but the thing is, I can't trust anything they're announcing well into the future with Warner Brothers because of this whole shit show about them getting sold and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I don't know if their new owners are going to be all hyped about giving George Miller that money or not. So
Well, if Netflix acquires them, yeah, I don't know. Actually, Shane,
if they
you're
do,
right.
maybe they'll film it in New Jersey along with everything else that Netflix is filming. So
That's funny. That's good.
I have a friend who works at Montclair State, and he was trying to run around campus meeting Adam Sandler as they were filming.
Is that what they filmed Jay Kelly?
No, his daughter is starring in a new college movie where
Gotcha.
he plays his daughter's dad dropping her off at college, and they use Montclair State as UCLA.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay.
100%. My number four, John Wick Chapter 4.
Epic.
This I don't know when was the last time I had a happier 3 hours watching a movie than watching this movie. I saw this in IMAX at my press screening, and my eyes were burnt out of my brain from just being just like I have seen magic on the screen. I'm still mad that Dan Lautzen has not been nominated for an Oscar for cinematography for two, three, or four.
Hmm.
All the at the um Osaka Continental sequences, especially on that rooftop.
Oh,
Oh
great.
my God, it's
Yes.
gorgeous. The action, it's simply the best. Like I have never seen fight choreography or fighting or shooting or anything like this. It's like I have I live in a world where I have Mad Max made by George Miller, John Wick made by Chad Stahelski, and Christopher McQuarrie making Mission Impossible, and I live a good life because I have the best action I could possibly have in a movie. The characters in this movie, Donnie Yen, I want that sequel now.
Now. Yeah.
And he's directing it. Rina Sawayama's coming back. Rina Sawayama, I had no idea who the hell she was before this, and now I listen to all of her music and I want to see her in more movies.
Apparently that was her who sang that song during the end credits of that movie too. I think that
Yeah.
was her. Yeah.
Yep. Um, I love her music. I would actually go to a concert to listen to her music. Now, apparently, Keanu Reeves and Pat Saleski saw her music videos and saw her doing all of her own stunts in her music videos, and they're like, "We need her." Um, Bill Skarsgård, amazing. He's a crap antagonist.
Best villain in the franchise, easily.
Yep.
Easily.
And then even having like Clancy Brown as like
I loved
the,
him.
liaison for the high table. Keanu Reeves gives an amazing performance, and like apparently he cut down his own dialogue to like a tenth of what it was, which is wild.
Okay, he's my lone criticism of this movie. Because I feel like for about 95% of this movie, it was difficult for me. And then the ending happened. I was like, okay, I forgive you, Keanu, because the ending I thought it was brilliant.
I thought that scene in the church with him and Kane,
I love that
that
scene. Yes.
like, and here's the thing, to be frank, most of what Keanu Reeves is asked to do in this movie is action.
Yes. Very true.
And you have a little bit of sprinkling of Ian McShane and Lawrence Fishburne thrown in there. One of my favorite underappreciated actors is Scott Adkins, who is an incredible
God,
stuntman.
Atkins. Oh my God.
Hilla
Ah.
is one of my favorite characters in this whole franchise. Scott Atkins in a fat suit with a grill. Ah, Mr. Wick. That whole entire Berlin sequence was wild. Wild to me.
Two things. Hiroyuki Sanada. Loved him in this movie. So good. His fight with Donnie Yen. Oh, great.
Yep.
Two, this franchise has started a thing and it carried over into Ballerina of just nightclubs where shit or excuse me, stuff is going down and everyone's just like, you know, dancing and having a good time. So I don't understand this shit.
The world building is like there's obviously assassins everywhere in this world, and it's just like I'm here to live, man. They're all
Yeah.
just doing their thing.
Yeah.
Germans. Um,
Germans.
and even Nobody. He was
Yeah.
such a fun character too that they added in there. The whole Paris um climax and the Warriors
Hmm.
energy that they were channeling in there with the DJ and everything. It was just
So what really pissed me off too was that stair sequence. I was like, are we really gonna do this again? Okay, I'm still entertained. Never mind. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry
and
for
then he fell down the whole entire stairs.
because there was a little bit of doubt. I'm like, how is he gonna make that time? I don't. There's no way he actually in real life, Shane. There's no way he would have made that deadline.
There we go. Ah, well, number three is this is a movie that I thought deserved so many Oscars. It just happened to come out in the worst year possible, which was when Everything Everywhere All at Once came out, and it's Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay, okay.
I'm a huge Mark McDonough fan. I love Colin Farrell so much, and I would have loved to see him win Best Actor for this, but The Whale. Um, here's the thing. I wanted this to win so many Oscars, but then I'm like, I can't argue with what did win the Oscars. So I'm like, part of Burwell's score is simple but gorgeous. Brendan Gleeson's amazing. Harry Condon, I love her. This movie made me fall in love with her. I wanted to see her in everything. She was, I loved her, even just like she was a pretty archetypal character in F1. Like she's just incredibly charismatic. Loved her seeing that. Barry Keoghan is so tragic in this movie. Just the whole cast is incredible. This is a gorgeous looking film. And it's dark, it's twisted, it's hilarious. And this actually has a lot to say about human nature. And like this has that similar to the movie Brooklyn, they have something to say about small town politics, especially in Ireland. I kind of want to live in a small town in Ireland because it's gorgeous, but I also kind of don't when I don't with the kind of like dark catty nature that apparently that these small towns have. There's just something also, to be frank, I love Irish culture. I love Irish filmmaking. I loved Belfast too. Um, this isn't the last Irish movie that I have on this list either. But this was something special to me. And I just feel like this came out in the worst year possible for this to try to win a bunch of Oscars. Because literally everything it could have went to Everything Everywhere All at Once. And also that little pony. That got me so bad. Made me so sad.
All I'm gonna say is for time reasons, one of the best scripts of the year, and Colin Farrell. Shane, is it crazy to think this might be like this is like a top 3 or 4 performance from him ever for me? I love him in this movie.
It's my favorite performance of his.
Yeah.
Well, the Penguin's up there now.
That's on the thing was up there for me. I'm saying that's how, yeah.
Well, speaking of Colin Farrell playing the Penguin, my number two is the Batman.
Nice. I had a feeling that this was a comic movie. I was like, because I know how much you really love this
This
movie.
is my number one Batman film. Sorry, The Dark Knight. So
Wow. Okay.
this Matt Reeves is one of my favorite filmmakers. I love his Planet of the Apes films. They're some of my favorite films. And this film is exactly what I want out of a Batman story. Like, this felt like Batman coming to life, him being a detective. This was an interesting choice having like much younger Batman. At least, well, actually, you know what? I wonder if he's the same age as Michael Keaton was when Michael Keaton made Batman in '89. Um, Michael Keaton just looks a lot older. Um, Robert Pattinson playing a socially isolated Bruce Wayne is an interesting twist on this because, to be frank, this man should be very messed up. So, and it makes sense. The score of this is incredible. That march for the Batman theme is absolutely incredible and one of my favorite things to be put to any type of memes on Instagram that I find on Reels. It's hilarious. Um, and Robert Pattinson's amazing. This whole cast is amazing. Colin Farrell steals the show as the Penguin.
Yep.
John Turturro is incredible. Zoe Kravitz.
Fantastic.
Um, I love Annie Hathaway's. I love Annie Hathaway's. But like
Zoe
Zoe
Kravitz
Kravitz,
clears.
this
Yeah,
might
she
be the
clears.
best Selena
Yeah.
Kyle that we have gotten up to this point. I love Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. He is so good. This film looks absolutely incredible. Paul Dano,
Great.
um, as Incel Elite. I mean the Riddler. Um, and I had no problems where the third act of this movie went.
Me neither.
I was This is one of the most gorgeous looking films I was. This is Greg Fraser too, right? Who also did
Yes.
the Dune movies. Oh my
Yes.
god. The cinematography in this is incredible. And I've been chomping at the bit. I want part two so bad. Um, I hope Matt Reeves is okay, whatever the hell was going on, because it sounded like he was having personal issues and stuff like that. But like this movie's incredible. I love it. I need more of this. And I swear, whoever buys Warner Brothers better make it happen.
This is the best version of Gotham we've ever gotten. Gotham truly feels lived in.
Mhm.
This feels like the Gotham that I read in the comics. Um, because even like the Gotham and the Dark Knight trilogy, I was like, you know what? I could probably live here. I, yeah, it's kind of nice. Not this guy. I don't want to live in. I don't want to live in Matt Reeves'
Well,
Gotham at
I
all.
I don't want to live in Gotham in Batman Begins.
No, but like
Um,
Dark Knight, Dark. I was like, yeah, I could live here.
yeah, no, I don't want to live in this Gotham. This Gotham's a bad place.
Yeah, no, I don't want to live here. No, 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 no,
Um,
no.
but yeah, so the Batman, and then this is probably going to be completely out of left field, but this is very much on point for me. My number one from 2020 is Wolfwalkers.
The animated
This
film.
is from Cartoon Saloon.
Okay.
I have my amazing Cartoon Saloon Irish Folklore box set trilogy here, which the fact that Wolfwalkers did get a physical release on this after being an Apple product, which also get your Apple subscriptions. This movie is gorgeous. The music, the animation. I love anything Cartoon Saloon does. This had so much heart, what it said about religion and imperialism and all of these things layered into this film. This is such a gorgeous film. And this was one of the first screeners I got from Apple. And I was so happy that I got a chance to check this out. And I feel like this has just been completely lost to the pandemic, which is such a shame. But this is like one of my top 100 favorite movies. Like I absolutely love this. This and the Batman both cracked my top 100. And I do love me some animation. I do love me some Irish folklore and stuff like that. So yes, this wasn't my last. The Banshees was not my last Irish film. It was really funny because 2 out of 3 years in a row, my favorite film was an Irish film. Um, but this is such a special little film, and I hope people go check it out.
I will get around to watching it now that it's your favorite because I trust you and your film reviews, so I'll give it a shot.
I think what Cartoon Saloon and Leica do is on like a whole other different type of level in terms of animation today. And it's such a nice alternative to like big studio animation. I do have to give DreamWorks its flowers because my God, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and The Wild Robot are like two of the best animated films in the past 5 years.
Yes.
And, you know, I think Disney and Pixar are both having some like stalling out moments.
I think
Soul's up
Pixar. That's what I'm saying.
there.
Soul looks great. I think Elemental looks great as well. I think Elemental's a beautiful looking film. Uh,
Well, I mean more from just like overall product. Like I
oh,
love
gotcha,
Soul. Soul
gotcha.
made my top 10 of 2020. But like I just feel like there's an opportunity for like other studios to really make a big impact in animation at the moment because I don't know if Disney and Pixar are putting their best foot forward.
I think Pixar is finding their footing again. I think with Soul, Elemental, Inside Out 2. What was the one we had this past year, Shane? What was this year's Pixar film? Oh, Elio, which wasn't.
I enjoyed it,
I did enjoy Elio more than I thought I was going to actually.
but like I didn't love Elio, and I'm really hoping Zootopia 2, Zootopia, um, comes to
Zootopia.
play.
Zootopia. I
But
I I have faith in that movie. I do. I've had faith in it.
like I just watched Arco, which is Neon's new French anime that they're bringing over and distributing. Um, Zootopia 2 better come to play because Arco was something special. So,
Well, I don't think. I think you said. I think this is the perfect chance for DreamWorks to really take the throne. They just haven't done it yet. Because right now I still feel like Shane, even though Pixar's kind of on this little eh hit and miss streak, it's still more trusted than DreamWorks is at the moment.
well, no, here's the thing. I'm thinking more of like my perspective in terms of like making greatness and winning awards at the moment. Because, like, here's the thing. DreamWorks is never going to overcome Pixar or Disney in terms of legacy. It's just not.
No, they won't.
Sorry. You're gonna continue to play second fiddle. I'm just saying some of my favorite animated films of all time are from Cartoon Saloon and Leica. And
Well,
Leica hasn't made anything in a while, but I saw a teaser for Wildwood, their new film, because I went to go see Paranorman in theaters for its
oh, the
re-release
remastered? Yeah, okay.
with its sequel short film that they added to it, The Thrifting. But like Wildwood looks amazing.
It
And
does look good. Yeah.
I can't wait for that. And then I don't know what Cartoon Saloon's next film is. But no, Wolfwalkers, amazing. But Ron, did you have anything else you wanted to add? Because this has been a long episode, so I appreciate everybody tuning in and
No,
going on the journey with us for sure.
I was just gonna say, while this decade quite hasn't lived up to the 2010s, I don't know what decade really can though, because the 2010s was pretty pretty fantastic. I think the highs of this year, Shane, are really, really high. I just think like the lows of this year have been pretty low, if you ask
There's
me.
been some really disappointing films this year,
Yeah.
but like I still have like I just at the last day of every month I post an updated reel of my top 10 films of the year. I still got because it didn't come out here until January 1st. I still have Wallace and Gromit and
Um,
Vengeance Most Foul still in my top 10 because I love that
that was
movie so
delightful.
much.
I had a great time watching that. There's a lot I still need to watch from this year and from previous decades. I mean, you've recommended some films now that I'm gonna go back and watch or even rewatch. I can't get with you on the Batman being better than the Dark Knight. I thought I was on that train, and then I rewatched the Dark Knight. I was like, I gotta get off the train. But what I will say though, Shane, is I think animation has really, not from Pixar in particular, but I think there's been some really good animated films. Like I really want to put the Wild Robot on my list. Like that would be another
Yeah.
honorable mention.
Wild Robot was amazing.
Yes,
Robot Dreams
so
hit
good.
me hit me in a place I was not prepared for. And I don't think I can listen to September by Earth, Wind, and Fire in the
Mm-mm.
same way ever again.
No, not after you watch that. Not
No,
after you
not
watch
after
that.
you watch that.
Are they
There's
doing a
just
sequel to Wild Robot, Shane? Has that been announced? Are they doing a sequel to that movie?
they have to be.
Yeah.
Like they have to be.
Okay.
All I know is I shouldn't be excited for this. I should know better, but Shrek 5 needs to happen. Um
I'm nervous about Shrek 5. I'm a little nervous.
I'm uh I'm blinded by my life of love of Shrek. I need Shrek 5. Despite the fact that, I only love the first two Shreks.
That's
I,
why I'm nervous.
I should not be excited about Shrek 5. I should be like, why are you doing this to me? But Last Wish got me. Last Wish got me
Exactly. That's why they're doing Shrek 5. If The Last Wish wasn't received well, there's
100%.
no way they're doing Shrek 5. So
I know because like the first Puss in Boots movie was like, it's all right.
exactly. It was like, eh. Did that come out after Shrek 4? That first Puss in Boots movie? Was that after
That's a
Shrek
good
4?
question. Because both of them just came and went. Like, because like Shrek the Third had such a big expectations and then just slacked.
Puss in Boots came out the year after Shrek 4.
That's wild to me.
I don't think Shrek 4 is bad. I think it's an improvement over 3. I
It's
just,
it definitely is, but nobody saw it.
no one
I
saw
put
it.
I put Shrek Forever After in the same boat as Pirates of the Caribbean on Strange Tides.
Hmm.
Did they come out? Are they actual movies? Yes, because somehow they made like somehow on Stranger Tides made $1 billion. Who
Somehow
saw
something.
this movie? It- like I've obviously seen both of them, but there were like those situations where it's like there's oddly a fourth one here, and it's just like they're enjoyable enough, but like they're never gonna like hit me the same way the
Well,
other ones will.
You know what happened to Shrek 4 also? Guess what came out a month after Shrek 4? Toy Story 3.
Oh shit!
Yeah, exactly. So,
And nobody was talking about Shrek Forever after Toy Story 3 came
nope.
out.
Shrek who? What?
I'm still excited about Toy Story 5 though.
I am.
Um,
I am too. I don't care what anyone says. I'm excited for Toy Story 5.
Tim
No,
Allen
I don't
came out
want
and
it.
said this is a story about Jesse.
That intrigues me.
That
That
does
intrigues
intrigue
me.
me. And she has to get the gang back together.
Well, you know, if it's a Jesse story, like you know who's coming back for Toy Story 5. Um, Emily is probably coming back for Toy Story 5. I'm imagining a world now in which Emily comes back.
Am I emotionally ready for that?
Nope.
No. It's interesting because like obviously those who have sat through this long episode can tell that Rod and I have different tastes in movies, like what our favorites are.
Us?
What?
No. What?
Because like I think you could get a good sense of like your taste in movies based on your list versus my taste in movies. Mine's much weirder. Um,
Jane, I love
and
all foreign language, black and white, the true art films, you know?
well, and the important thing is like we're friends. We both love movies and we love talking movies together. But we just naturally gravitate towards
We
different
do.
things that speak to us. And here's the thing: I really loved all the movies that you talked about in your list. Um, I didn't love some of them as much as you, and I think we both love Marvel. I definitely don't love Marvel as much as you because I don't know if I know anybody who loves Marvel as much as you, Rod. Um, like for like a Marvel movie to really crack it, like for a comic book movie to really crack into my favorite movies, like it has to be like really, really special. And I do feel like the Batman is something really, really special. And there are certain comic book movies that are in my top 100 favorite movies of all time. Days of Future Past is still up there. I've
Great movie.
always been a I've always been an X-Men kid, and they better not do me wrong with this new reboot of things. Um, and you know, for comedies and romance and dramas and stuff like that, it has to hit like a very specific peak to really like be one of my favorite movies. But
Yeah.
like Past Lives, The Materialist, Cha Cha Real Smooth, Daddy-O, those are all films that hit me in a very specific kind of way. And to be honest, I've watched if I counted up how many movies I've watched from 2020 to now that have been released from 2020 to now, we're talking thousands,
Yeah. Thousands. Thousands.
thousands. Um, these are just the ones that rose to the top.
Yeah. And that, like I said, that's the beauty of film. Like we both have different tastes. I feel like sometimes our paths can over our tastes kind of overlap sometimes. Mainly like in that indie space, I feel like sometimes you and I can agree on
Yes.
a couple for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the Marvel stuff, that especially when a Marvel film really hits like a Fantastic Four or No Way Home, that's always gonna be kind of my soft spot, or a rom-com, or any romance film really, like a
Yeah.
We Live in Time. But that film, I remember because Ben saw it before I did, and he was like, "You're gonna love this," and I was like, "Okay, we'll see." I love that movie so much. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So, but yeah, I always appreciate coming on here, Shannon,
Well,
and doing these with you.
and to be honest, Rod, this is why I actually asked you to do this episode because I knew we wouldn't have a whole lot of crossover and it would make for an interesting episode.
Yeah, well, I appreciate. Like I said, I always appreciate when you invite me on,
Absolutely.
or I force you to do something. Force you to do an episode you don't want to. Dakota Johnson.
Hey, this has become a tradition now of these top five videos of our favorite actresses. So there we go.
There we go.
And there will be a new one in the new year. So just you wait. But thank all of you out there for always tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.